Hello, nice to see you again in this video, in this zenny4u.com channel. Now, I would like to continue with the sharing about the energy management system implementation. I've covered the energy planning, and I've covered the support required to implement the energy management system, and then I've talked about the operation of the system or the implementation of the energy management system. Now, as promised, I'd like to share about the next stage of the energy management system implementation, which is the performance evaluation. In the performance evaluation, in general, what needs to be done, basically, there are two areas to be looked into. The first area is if to check or to evaluate the performance of the energy itself, that the energy performance checking. In this energy performance checking, what basically need to be checked is basically is all the numbers. Okay, they have to check number one, how have to check the effectiveness of the action plan, okay, to achieve its management system objective and targets. With that, you have to check whether the action plan has resulted in achieving the objective and targets or not. Objective is the statement to reduce or to improve energy performance, and the targets, how much. Let's say you have targeted 10% savings in that cycle reporting period. Have you achieved 10%? That's basically need to check the values, the number. Okay, how to check that? It's all to check the energy performance, to check the targets versus the energy baseline that has been established before during the energy planning stage. Check the value. Okay, this energy baseline is based on the energy performance indicator that has been set. So check whether the existing the actual performance has resulted in beating the target or not. Of course, if you achieve it, you're good. If not, why is that? Okay, that's the first element, to check whether you have achieved the targets or not based on the energy baseline and also the energy performance indicator that has been established before. Okay, the next part of the performance evaluation is basically the measurement. Okay, it's basically not the measurement. It's about the checking your actual energy consumption versus your expected energy consumption. So one of the part of the energy planning stage, basically you have done the forecast, right? You have estimated how much you're supposed to use using the model that you have developed before. Okay, how much you're supposed to use during that reporting period or during that cycle. So and then you check against your actual energy consumption, whether or not you are now using lesser than the forecasted or more than the forecasted or estimated. If your actual consumption is lower than the estimated value or the forecasted value, somehow you are good. However, even though you are using more than the estimated value, at least you should, with the system in place, you should be able to justify or to explain why it's beyond the estimated values. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, you have to check your estimated consumption against your actual energy consumption. Okay, and then the next part of the performance evaluation is about the measurement and verification of your performance. Okay, your performance. Basically, you need to know the first one of it is basically what are the methods. Okay, what are the methods used in measuring your energy performance? What kind of measurement done and how you verify your energy performance? And you need to know when you do all the measurement, when you do all the measurement, and then when exactly you expect to collect all the data, and then when you want to come up with the findings of the analysis. Okay, so you have to confirm on that. You have to look into the method, okay, on how you measure and verify, okay, your energy performance, whether you achieve the target or not, because all that must be validated. Because energy management system, especially in ISO 2001, all right, you should be able to validate your result, so that your result cannot be disputed or you can stand by your result. Okay, and then the next part of the energy performance checking, you have to check whether or not you are complying to any legal requirement or any other requirement that you have to comply with. For example, in Malaysia, we have the regulation to be followed under the Efficient Management of Electrical Energy Regulation 2008. Okay, and you may have other requirement. For example, energy requirement for all the interested parties in your energy system implementation, such as the maybe your clients and so on. Okay, that's the first part. The first part is to check your energy performance and then check your compliance to the legal requirement or other requirement. And the next one, okay, is to check your system performance. System performance checking means that you have to check whether or not when you implemented your energy management system, have you followed all the system requirements such as the policy, and then the procedures, the manual being followed or not, the work instruction, the forms and that being developed, for monitoring all the SU and all that. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, you have, because at the end of the day, you have to make sure that everything everything is compliant to all the requirement of the system that has been established. Okay, for example, if you running when you operate your significant energy users equipment, for example, okay, do you follow all the criteria based on the key operating parameter values that has been established? Okay, and all that. So that need to be checked as well. Means that you check the system, okay, to ensure that everyone is playing their role in the system. Okay, and then normally if your company, okay, let's say you are you implemented energy management system for the purpose of certification requirement, for the purpose of certifications. Okay, normally what they do to check the system compliant basically by having the internal audit. Internal audit, you have to follow the typical internal audit requirement. And then you have to, from the findings of the internal audit, you have to take action accordingly. That, if you are, if your company, implemented energy management system also for the purpose of the certification, because every year you have to undergo either the first one is the certification audit, and followed by the subsequent years, you have to undergo the surveillance audit and also the recertification audit. So that's why from the standard point of view, you have to conduct the internal audit. However, I came across a few scenarios where some companies, multinational companies, they are conducting their own internal audit. They are not certified or going for certification, but they do have some kind of internal process where they can audit among themselves. Means that they got a team, okay, a trained team, specialists in certain area to audit. They are the plan, even within the same plan, they go as they call it internal audit as well at the company level or the corporate level. And the findings of that audit as well need to be, action need to be taken by all the related parties. Okay, that's how you that's another part of how you can conduct the system checking or system to make sure your people are complying to your system requirement. So again, the requirement is first you check the energy performance itself, and then you check the system performance, the system compliant. Okay, and then the input from this energy performance evaluations and also the system performance evaluations, okay, or the input from this will be taken into the next step, the next stage of the energy system information, which is the management review. Okay, management review. Normally in the management review, you have to present to the management. Generally, it's about updating the management, the top management, on what is the progress of the energy management system being implemented. Okay, of course, they need to look into have you achieved your intended objective and targets or not. And then they also need to know, okay, whether or not you have everyone is complying to everyone is complying to the system requirement or not. Okay, for example, for the energy performance itself, let's say the targets, if you achieve, all right, if you achieve the target, maybe achieve or maybe beyond what you targeted. So what next? So that's what management wanted. They need to know what next. Okay, from there, they can determine, okay, what kind of support, even you can propose what kind of further support required from them to get further improvement. Okay, even though if you did not achieve your targets, okay, what are the mitigation plans? Or what are the mitigation actions to be taken? So management wanted to see, even though there's some kind of, your deviation from the targets, you have to come up with the action, mitigation plan, how to get back on track, for example. And then next part, they need to know whether the system, being followed by everyone in the company or not. That's on the system compliance. Why this energy management review is very important? Because in the energy management system, you need to get the support from the top management continuously. Therefore, as a top management, they wanted to see whether when they implemented the management system, have you achieved whatever targeted as being established or not. And from there, ideally, you also can link whatever result from your management system implementation to your impact to the business. What are the positive impacts contributed to the overall business performance? For example, if you manage to reduce energy costs, okay, you also manage to reduce non-energy cost based on this energy system implementations. How that will impact your total business performance? Okay, the management have to see that. From there, hopefully, okay, they are convinced for them to keep giving the support. Because if the management cannot see benefit, they started to look into it, in different way. Maybe they give you less support. Okay, that's why it's very, very, very imperative, okay, for the team, okay, or the, whoever championing energy management system in the organization to make sure whenever you have the opportunity to present the output of your energy management system implementation in the management view, take that chance properly to get the support. Even to some point, you have to get approval, okay, for the top management on what next, on what other potential continual improvement actions to be taken to be forward. So in the energy management system implementation, if you reach the management review stage, okay, and then you get the decision from the top management on what next, on how to continually improve the system, you have completed the one cycle of the energy management system implementations. And then like a typical management cycle, PDCA cycle, and then they go back to the cycle will continue accordingly. All right, so I think that's all my sharing about energy management system implementation. I've covered, okay, let me recap, okay. I've talked about energy planning, okay, assuming that, you can conduct energy planning after you have managed to get the commitment from the top management, okay, in the form of policy directive. Okay, after you have got the policy from the top management in the form of statement or directive, okay, they agree, basically to form the team, energy management team, normally led by the energy manager, and then they have to conduct the energy planning. That was how my video started in the system implementation. So, I talk about energy plannings. What are the key elements in the energy planning that will make your energy planning is comprehensive enough and robust enough for better and much more smooth implementations. Okay, and then I talk about, okay, the operation of the system or the implementation of the management system. Okay, and then today, I come to the performance evaluation of the system and also the management review. So with that, I hope this video and my previous videos has enlightened you, okay, give you some idea what is energy management system all about and what are needed to ensure your energy management system is effectively developed and subsequently effectively implemented, and then subsequently we get you the result that you wanted to achieve from the implementation. And then after that, you can continually to improve. Okay, I hope this video has enlightened you further. And then thank you very much for watching. And you have any question or query about energy management system, either in terms of development or the implementation, even for the capacity building or the resources of the human resource, you can just send me your queries to the email that I put at the bottom of the screen. Okay, and then if you feel this video useful for you and others, don't hesitate to share and subscribe as well, so that you can continue to communicate through this. You can give your comments and feedback in this video as well, so that I can improve my my future sharing in this energy management system or energy efficiency topics. With that, thank you very much. Okay, don't forget, please stay safe. Okay, stay healthy, stay happy, and lastly, stay energy efficient. Okay, until the next video. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera.